What's up, guys? So huge item update here on the red regrade charms. These things have been soaring high, all the way up to nearly 400 gold earlier, and it's slowly coming back down again slightly. But this is kind of like absurd. I sold one of these guys for 250 yesterday, actually. So less than 24 hours ago, sold one for 250, and I thought that was a good price. Like I was like, wow, 250, that's a lot of money. Because at the time Apex is 200 gold. You're like, okay, 250 for red regrade charm. Sure, I bought it for 50 gold or whatever way back when. Now again, this is mine. I listed one at 375 to test out to see if it will sell at 375. As you can see, we got undercut by two people there, but there's a very small supply, and with so many weapons and armors into the game, like crafting is just, I mean, it's so common, so easy to do now. There's nothing holding you back from crafting in this game except for labor, which you can get through labor pots, or you can just have multiple accounts, mules, and things like that. So there's really nothing holding you back. So I think that's the reason, the main reason why we're seeing such huge spikes in these red regrade charms. Because everyone has these weapons and armors. You'll see that there's a decent supply of weapons and armor on the auction house for sale for a pretty cheap price. I mean, they're starting off at like 150 here, going all the way up to about 1,000. And that's really cheap, honestly. I mean, that's for a decent weapon or decent armor. I mean, that's a good deal. Personally, I always have believed that it's better to buy the stuff off of the auction house because people don't value the regrades and how much the failures there are there and all the fees associated with regrading. So like at this right here, we have a divine leather jerkin, and this is only 3,500. You may be thinking like only that's a shitload of money, and that really is. But for the fact to get a divine item, it's so hard to get a divine item. You either have to regrade a celestial item and try and take that chance of it breaking or downgrading, and it's a very small chance, or you have to get an ultra lucky proc from the unique status. So you have to use the red regrade charm plus the resplendent scroll, which that requires the lucky sun point. So you saw the red regrade prices. So then the lucky sun point again is another 200 gold. So to try a double proc, it costs you approximately 500 gold to try. So we'll go back to that item right there, the armor. And this is why like divine items are just insanely cheap in my opinion, but it's people don't have 3,000 gold lying around, and they don't undervalue. So right here, so this one you can buy the obsidian unique jerkin for 900 gold. To attempt to bring it up to the divine status, you require 500 gold right there, and then you have only about a 5% chance to get a divine status. You have like a 20% chance to get a celestial, and then you have some chance to downgrade and some chance to failure. So you can see it's a very small chance. So right there, you're spending 500 gold for the chance to get to divine at about 5%, give or take, and then you're getting about 20% chance to get a celestial version of it, and you can see a celestial version is only 1,800 or so, and that's the tier 2 version. So you can see it's just like it doesn't really add up. I mean, you take that big chance, and it's almost always better to buy the items straight up off the auction house from other players rather unless you're trying to go, crazy and go like epic or anything like that, because you won't be able to find epics on the auction house. But again, if you do, epics are also extremely cheap. There was an epic katana sold for around like 11,000 gold, and that's insanely cheap because at divine there's a huge chance of breaking things. And again, you have to use the superior red regrade charms, which are even a little bit more expensive. These guys are 400 to 500 gold right now on Morpheus. So just alone with that, plus the lucky regrades scroll, now you're looking at like 650 to attempt to bring your divine up to epic status. And then there's like 5%, 4% chance that you succeed or something like that, like a crazy low chance. And then you have a huge chance of breaking your item. Like if you've regraded it all, you've felt the pain process of downgrading and then breaking items if you've regraded past celestial. It's just like it's insane. And this is the one thing in the game that's constantly been jumping up even faster than like Apex or credits. The red regrade charms have been jumping tremendously. It's like about 25 to 50 gold each single day, it seems like, that these are going up in value. And the only way that these are going to ever decrease in value is if Tryon Worlds ever introduces some kind of event or special thing in the marketplace where you can purchase them like they did before. Because the only way that you get these guys are out of the RNG cash shop boxes. So they're tied to the marketplace. They're tied to these boxes, and they have a really low rate in them. They have like a 2 out of 100, like a 2% or a 3% chance. So like you buy like 100 of these boxes, and you'll be lucky to get like 3 red regrade charms out of there. So like it's a very small amount of red regrade charms. Sure, you can get lucky, you can get 10 out of that 100 boxes, but still, like, it's very, very low. And it's almost getting to the point, if the red regrade charms get to like say 600 or 700 gold, it might almost be worthwhile to actually just go buy Apex, take the gamble and gamble on these boxes, and just like try and pray to RNG gods that you get the red regrade charms, like not even caring about the special items in here. Those can just be kind of like candy on the side. But if you really like, if the red regrade charms get that high, they come from these boxes, and it might be worthwhile to actually just go gamble and roll the dice and try and get these things. Obviously, the cheaper box over here, it probably would be better. We don't know exactly what the rates are. They've never released any pure data on them. It's always seems that the rates for the red regrade charms have been about the same, regardless of what box you open up. There were some boxes before that they kind of like really nerfed the rates. So just keep an eye out for player-made data and opening up hundreds of boxes and stuff in YouTube videos, and see which boxes are really the best to open up for red regrade charms. Because again, the rates do vary a little bit. And of course, if there's something in there, like this one has the battle scarred, plate costume, the Oathbreaker plates, and I personally like that. I thought that was a cool costume, so I went ahead and opened some of these, and I got really lucky, and I got one. At that time, the red regrade charms were very, very cheap. It wasn't anything else special. It was like 50 gold or something. But I was really excited. I got my costume, and the costume was selling for like 400 or 500 gold. At that time, the costume was the big deal. Now, I mean, the costume sells for like 200 gold, and everyone wants the red regrade charms. So, again, red regrade charms actually have a real value. They're actually useful in game. They're not just cosmetic. They buff you up. They make you stronger. You cannot get them anywhere in game. So the only way you get them is through here, and with that's the one thing that players are doing, is always upgrading and always trying to have better gear. So that's the one thing that should probably always increase until Tryon Worlds comes in and be like, hey, this is kind of getting out of hand. And they did that before, so they will eventually do it again. They did it right around the 1,000 gold mark for the red regrade charms. At that point, on the old servers, Apex was right around like 500 or 600 gold. So the red regrade charms was about 2 times more expensive than Apex, and we're already seeing that on this server, on Morpheus. We're seeing that the red regrade charms are almost 2 times more than Apex. Apex is hovering right around like 220. So 210, 220, right around there. And the red regrade charms are again hovering right around 300, 350, 375.